after the exciting Premier League midweek fixtures of goals and upsets, and also teams failing to pick up, maximum point at home like the Liverpools and the Manchester United, upset like Chelsea lost at, away at Leeds, and also Arsenal picking up from comfortable 2-0 victory at home against Brentford. The Premier League is here again, and this is December. We know how December fixtures are. We're already getting the feel of how December fixtures are piled up, this December in the Premier League. This weekend is going to be another exciting fixtures, of the English Premier League, and we're also going to review and predict this weekend's fixtures of the English Premier League. It was an exciting midweek, like I said earlier, and let's go into this weekend fixtures of the English Premier League. Some teams need to redeem themselves, like Chelsea need to redeem themselves. Liverpool needs to start winning games again. Manchester United needs to pick up all important 3 points again. Arsenal needs to continue their good run of form. Manchester City needs to get back to their rhythm of not conceding too many goals. A lot needs to happen this weekend. And it's going to be a very, very tough weekend of football. Now, this is week 15 of the English Premier League. And the first game for the weekend will be an away trip of Arsenal, to Aston Villa. That is going to be a very tough one. If you know Aston Villa very well, they're a team that hardly lose at home. They're a team that are very, very strong playing away from home. They got an important away victory against Brighton. It was a very, very important victory because they were losing 2-0. They came into the game and they won that game 4-3. We need to give kudos to Onana, the coach, and everybody who did very well, to get that one important 3 points for Aston Villa. Remember, at home, they've beaten Manchester City. Remember, at home, they've picked up important points. They've defeated likes of Wolves, Bournemouth, Newcastle. Yes, they lost at home to Crystal Palace, but at home, they're a very, very good team. And in the last 5 games, they've won all. That's how, good they are, playing at home. Very, very good team, in Aston Villa. Now to Arsenal. Arsenal this season are a very fantastic side in the sense that they treat away games like home games. Yes, they've not won the last 2 away games. 2-2 at Sunderland, 1-1 at Chelsea, but they've not lost. No matter how difficult the game is, they've always grinded out that result. They've always picked up a point, at least away from home. Yes, they lost to Liverpool, away from home. I think that's their only loss this season in the Premier League, but they've been very, very, very consistent. Now, playing against Aston Villa, it's always a 50-50 for Arsenal. They've lost some, they've won some. But this game is going to be tough. It's going to be tough because Aston Villa hardly lose at home. The shocker for Manchester City came at Aston Villa a few weeks ago. It was a huge shocker. Why for Arsenal? They need to continue, that good run of form. Merino needs to start scoring again, continue scoring again rather. Gyökeres needs to challenge him, to start, getting that his number 1 spot as the top striker for Arsenal. So everybody is fighting for a place, in the squad. The best team coming into this game with the best form is Aston Villa. And everything is looking like Aston Villa is going to win. Everything is looking like that. But this is Arsenal. This is Arsenal. It's going to be very tough. I have 2 scores in mind. And I don't like to start this way because 2 scores is always very confusing. But I have 2 scores in mind. Due to the fact that Arsenal defense is suffering right now, in the sense that injuries. Mosquera is injured, Saliba is injured, Gabriel is injured. They have only Ikampe, Calafiori, who could also deputize in defense. Rice is also injured, but he's back already. But Timber can also play center back. Ben White can also play center back. But how often do they play? What is the cohesion? What is the understanding between these 2 guys if they play? It might be any pick, in defense. It might be Ben White. So that's why I said it's going to be difficult. I don't see too much goals in this game. Something tells me it's 1-0 victory for Aston Villa. Calm down, Arsenal fans. Something tells me it's going to be 1-0 victory. But I'm going to be realistic. I see this Arsenal's attack that can fight. I see this Arsenal's attack that can save their defense if their defense is having an off day. All right. So my prediction for this game is Aston Villa won. Arsenal won. Yeah, I think it's going to be a draw. I don't see Arsenal winning. Now to the next game, Bournemouth against Chelsea. Chelsea needs to redeem themselves after having a bad performance against Leeds United. Players need to get back. Maresca needs to get players who played against Arsenal, who started against Arsenal, back into the fold. You know, like the Fofanas. Good to see Kopama back. He played the last match. He didn't get enough minutes, but good to see him back. Estava will be playing. Yes, the suspension for Caicedo will still be another issue for Chelsea, but I hope that Chelsea find a way to work around it. That's why the importance of Reece James needs to be in this game. Reece James is very important in this match. He will play, with Enzo in midfield, and it's going to be a very, I wouldn't say easy one, because Bournemouth has had a very hard time in the last couple of games. 5 games, no single win for them. Just a point in the last 5 games. You could see how bad it's been, But they started the season very well, but in the last couple of games, it's been bad. Chelsea needs to win, especially after the last game against Leeds, how bad Chelsea was. Tosin needs to find himself on the bench. Maresca needs to get back into the team, needs to get the team, or needs to get hold of the team he knows. Archie Punk's supposed to get minutes. All right, Fofana and Chalobah can start. Maybe Archie Punk comes in later, whichever way he wants to do it. But Chelsea needs to be good defensively, solid defensively, but in which they've not been, away from home. Chelsea have a very poor away record. Let's not forget, very, very poor away record. But this game, we have a lot of scrutiny. This game, we have a lot of insights, a lot of looking into this game, to actually know why it has actually pounded out the way it pounded out in the last match after having 2 fantastic results against Barcelona and Arsenal. So, in the last couple of games, Chelsea have won 2 and drew 2 against Bournemouth. Chelsea have not lost in the last 5 against Bournemouth. So, this gives Chelsea an edge. This gives Chelsea a sense of belief that they can win or they can pick up something against Bournemouth. So, I see Chelsea doing something. I see Chelsea taking the fight, despite the fact that Bournemouth, yes, they might not have the best of run of form in the last 5 games, but at home, they've been solid. At home, they've been good. They've only drawn 2 games and lost 1 at home, and they won the remaining 3. So I think it's still fair. My prediction for this game: Chelsea have won 3 away straight wins. Chelsea will win this one. Bournemouth 1. My prediction: Bournemouth 1, Chelsea 2. Even if something tells me it's going to be a 3-1 victory, because Bournemouth lost their last home game against Everton. But let's move to the next game. That will be Everton against Nottingham Forest. Everton had a shock win against Bournemouth away from home. Nottingham Forest also won against Wolves, which is a very good result away from home. But we know how Wolves have been, and we know how bad the form has been for Bournemouth. Now, Nottingham Forest are going away. After winning that game against Liverpool, they have failed to win. They have picked up that they have continued on that good run of form. Also, picking up a victory against Wolves. They're going to be playing Everton. Everton are a very inconsistent team. Where you expect them to win, they lose. Where you expect them to lose, they win. Now, I'm not going to waste time on this. Everton have an upper hand when it comes to this. Playing at home. Out of the last 5, they've won 3 and draw 1. And lost 1 also against Nottingham Forest. But we know the Nottingham Forest we're talking about, not this current Nottingham Forest. But they've picked up very well. Jack Grealish saved the day for Everton against Bournemouth, which he got a goal. And these points here and there for Everton are a very good one and can save them this season. I'm not saying they're going to relegate, but get them into the top half of the log. While for Nottingham Forest, they started the season very poorly. They got their coach sacked. They appointed another coach. They got him sacked. Now, Sean Dyche is doing well for Nottingham Forest. And they've been on a good run of form. In the last 5, they've won 4 and draw 1 in all competition. Perfect results. While for Everton, won 3, draw 1, lost 1. It's going to be tough. Both teams are very strong defensively. Excuse me. Both teams are very, very strong defensively. This is a very tough game to predict. But my prediction for this game, I have two scores. Everton 2-0 win and Everton 2-2 draw. So I'm going to pick one. My prediction for this game is Everton 2, Nottingham Forest 2. Now to the next game, that game is going to be a draw. Maybe. Please, you guys should know about me. The next game, Manchester City against Sunderland. Sunderland has been on fire lately. They've given teams a run for their money. Got a draw against Liverpool, beat Chelsea, got a draw against Arsenal. That is a very, very good one for Sunderland. They're going to be playing Manchester City. Manchester City defense have been shaky. They've been conceding goals for fun recently. But they sit second on the long, which is a good thing. And Sunderland 6-6. Before the start of the season, I said Sunderland is never going to relegate. They are proving me right at this point. Insidor and the rest are scoring. They are doing great. But in the last 5 games in all competition, they've won 1. So they've been drawing games for fun. Manchester City needs to win this game, especially playing at home in front of their fans. You know, despite how bad they were against Fulham, in which they almost drew that game after going 5-1 up. My prediction for that game: Haaland needs to continue his good run of form. While for Sunderland, they've really not get the best of away form unless playing against these big teams. Yeah. Except that Nottingham Forest win in which they won. My prediction for this game is Manchester City 3, Sunderland 1. Yeah, something tells me 2-1. But it's 3-1. Next game, Newcastle against Burnley. I said I wasn't going to waste time on these predictions today. Newcastle against Burnley. Newcastle won their last game. Drew their last game against Tottenham Hotspur. The game ended 2-2 with an overhead kick from the defender. I think they need to start winning games at home, and this is the perfect opportunity for them against Burnley. You know, they've not lost to Burnley in the last 4. They've lost 1 to Burnley in the last 5 games. Burnley sit 19th. They've lost 5 in the last 5 in all competition. Bad record for them. You know, the car workers need to get back. You know, the 4 stars needs to get back in attack as well. While for Newcastle, Timada and the rest needs to come into the party. It's going to be an easy game for Newcastle, but expect a fight from Burnley. My prediction for this game, another 2 scores again, is Newcastle 2, Burnley 1. Or Newcastle 2, Burnley 0. Michael, choose one. Newcastle 2, Burnley 1. The next game, Tottenham Hotspur against Brentford. London derby, tough game. Tottenham Hotspur, bad home form. Brentford, bad away form. And this happened the last time against Fulham, in which I thought that Tottenham Hotspur was going to prove me wrong because of the inconsistency of Fulham. I think it's going to be a tough game. Brentford lost their last game against Arsenal, which was another London derby, 2-0. But this Tottenham Hotspur team can be very inconsistent. Very, very inconsistent. They've lost so many games at home. So many games. Brentford are the organs of losing at home, except for the West Ham game. My prediction for this game is Tottenham 2, Burnley and Brentford 2. Tottenham 2, Brentford 2. To the next game, Leeds against Liverpool. Leeds have been trying to fight in the last couple of games. They did that against Manchester City. They did that against Chelsea. Liverpool bad home form, but away form they've really picked up recently with the win against West Ham. After the loss against Manchester City, Brentford, Chelsea, 3 on the bounce, even Crystal Palace, 4 on the bounce. So let's see if they can get something where Chelsea couldn't get something in the last 2 days. I see a very tough game here. Despite Liverpool not winning at home, I think they're going to fight Leeds United. So my prediction for that game is Leeds United 1, Liverpool 2. To the next game, Brighton against West Ham. Brighton against West Ham. Brighton dropped points in their last match after losing from winning position. West Ham came from losing position to pick up a point against Manchester United, which is a good result for me. West Ham has picked up form. Very, very good one. Against this for this their new coach. And Brighton playing at home. They used to get results at home, but against Aston Villa, it was quite unfortunate. They lost that game. Maybe they loss of concentration or whatever. They lost that game. Good goal from Fofana in that match. West Ham needs to continue their good run of form away from home. Remember they lost against Leeds also. They lost against Arsenal, they drew. But this new run of form started with this last game against Manchester United. So my prediction for this game is Brighton 2, West Ham 0. I think they're going to lose. Fulham against Crystal Palace. For Fulham, very inconsistent team. Where you expect them to lose, they win. Where you expect them to win, they lose. I'm trying to rush things up because of time. Crystal Palace are that team that can't get results when it comes to London derbies. They lost their last game at home, to Manchester United, but they picked up a good result against Burnley, 1-0 away from home. Can they do it again against Fulham? It's going to be tough. Fulham did very well. Good to see Chukwueze back scoring goals. They did well against Manchester City, but it's quite unfortunate they lost that game. Now, let's see what happens. These two sides needs to be, good on the day. Mateta needs to step up, needs to score, So I see a very tough fight in this match, and I see a draw. My prediction for this game is Fulham 1, Crystal Palace 1. I write 2-2 here. I wrote 2-2 here, but I see a 1-1 draw. Wolves against Manchester United on the Monday night. Tough game. Manchester United needs to get back to their winning ways after dropping points unnecessarily against West Ham at home and also Everton at home. They lost that game. Now, away from home, they picked up points against they pick up a maximum point against Crystal Palace. So I think Manchester United needs to fight that, considering the fact how bad Wolves have been, how bad they've been. They don't have that drive. They don't have that push. They've lost 3 games on the bounce at home. Burnley, Palace, and Forest. Manchester United needs to go there and get a result. They are wounded, They are wounded. And Wolves, yes, they're going to score at home, but I don't see them picking up all the important 3 points. So my prediction for that game is Wolves 1, Manchester United 3. Let me know what you think concerning this prediction. Share your own prediction in the comment section. If you are new to this channel, hit the like button. Subscribe to this channel. Hit the notification bell. Until I come away again next time. I remain your boy Mike Way. Stay cool. Cheers.